Another day, another beautiful chest day. It's actually Valentine's Day. So the gym I'm going to is normally dead as it is, so I don't expect to see any heartbroken lifters out there. And I certainly don't assign myself to that category. My wife is just at work right now, so you know, my heart goes out to my fellow single lifters, but you know, this is prime day for you to go out and maybe meet another broken-hearted individual, you know. But of course, do it tastefully. Don't be weird. Anyways, but yeah, really excited for today's chest day. So at this new gym, they don't have a lot of like crazy unique, like, oh, I've never seen this type of chest press before. They don't have anything like that. I think most of the cool equipment that they have is for back and legs. It's not to say they don't have anything for chest or arms, but it's just, you know, you can find it at any gym, really. It doesn't matter if I went to the Y or, you know, work out anytime. Doesn't make a difference. But I really like the atmosphere of this gym. It's really cool, really dingy, and I mean, you know, you guys may have seen the last one there. Pretty cool stuff. Plus, I can record a couple of my sets in there if they're not like super busy. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a couple clips in, see some cool stuff. Don't expect any posing today. I'm kind of taking a break from, you know, really looking at my physique with any sort of meaningful pump. Just because, you know, when you look at your body every single day after a lift and, like, you know, week by week basis, you kind of go like nose blind to like seeing any of the results, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you've been looking at yourself for so long, you lose the minute differences over time. So I'm just giving myself a couple weeks of just not looking at the physique at all, just to kind of like, the next time I do a reel, like I have a really crazy lift and I think to myself, okay, it's been a couple weeks, this is like the best pump I've had in a while, I feel really good, let's take a look. Hopefully it'll be something that kind of blows me away. I'm gonna take off these clothes and find that I've completely transformed into a brand new powerful human being. So in the meantime, I'm gonna stay a little covered up and just kind of enjoy the lifts for what they are, you know. Get a really good pump, enjoy the music, and just really get into it. But in terms of what we're gonna do today, I don't really know yet. Definitely want to focus on some fly movements, not to make that like the primary thing, but I've been thinking back on my last couple of chest days, and for whatever reason, like all of my pressing movements feel great. I always end up getting like a pretty good burn, you know, like everything just feels really nice. Everything meshes well. But then when I move on to a fly movement, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just kind of like, I've lost that like, that feeling for it. And I remember like back at Nautilus when I would do like, you know, any type of cable fly or pec fly or whatever it is, I mean, it would feel crazy. Like I remember like those were my like really pump enhancing sets, and not so much the pressing movements. So I think I've just kind of like lost touch with like what makes it feel really good. So I do want to, you know, make it a point to actually focus on that and like find the right adjustment. I think what it is ultimately is I was very used to the cable setups at that gym, and every other gym I go to does not have that same type of it's the cable machine where they have like the two arms that stick out, you can adjust each one independently. So I think that's really what it is it's just a matter of like positioning, and I never really take the time to sit there and be like, okay, let's move it up one notch. Nah, that was too much front delt. Let's move it. So I think I might, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to start with fly movements today. Mostly so that while I'm warming up and I'm kind of like getting into it, I can use that time to, find what feels good. And then, I would hate to like start with some other movement, really get into it, get a pretty decent pump, and then, okay, I got to take like 4 minutes to find the proper cable placement, So start with cable flies of some sort. They do have this pec deck. Maybe I'll try that. But various cable flies, and then move on to some sort of pressing movement. And that could be dumbbell, Smith machine press. I don't know. I've taken a step away from incline dumbbell for no particular reason, just, switched it up. So probably gonna go with that. Probably gonna get back into the incline dumbbell game for a bit. Plus they have these really cool, like, the awesome stainless steel, you can see the individual plates of like 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds. So it'd be kind of fun to throw those around for a bit. And then, maybe someday I'll be able to grab those 150s, and that'll be cool. So why not? That'll be sick. Not too much left to talk about aside from my nonsensical ramblings, but I'll leave you with this. I don't understand drinking like those energy drinks as pre-workout. And like, here's what I mean by that. I understand, it's got like the L-carnitine, and some of them have beta-alanine, and it's got plenty of caffeine to get you going, right? I get that. But like, maybe it's just because of how I consume energy drinks, but I don't chug my drinks. Like, I like to sip on it, sip here, sip there. I feel like if I try to chug a carbonated drink, I'm gonna yak while warming up. What is this guy doing? Oh my god. But yeah, I can't just pound a drink like that. Like, I've always struggled with it. Hell, even back in the day, trying to drink a White Claw or something, they'd say, oh yeah, come on man, you gotta chug it, like we got plenty of White Claws to go through. Dude, I can barely get through one. I just can't like chug a carbonated drink like that. So I don't know, maybe this is just a thing that I need to have some insight on and just really reflect on how I consume carbonated beverages. But I'll leave you to ponder that. I have some pre-workout to get through, and then gonna spend some time figuring out this cable setup, and then hopefully we'll get some recording in. If not, you'll see me at the end. Don't worry. All right. See you guys in there, hopefully. All right, figured out the cable movement. First set felt fucking great, so I think like 2 more of them, to be honest. Be pretty good, so let's see.
Yeah, I think my problem was I had the cables kind of set up like pretty much at shoulder height or a little bit above it. And so I'm kind of like trying to hunch over when I'm doing these cable flies, and it gets too much shoulder involved. So having them set kind of like, I don't know, tricep level has been pretty fucking good, man. Get a really good squeeze of the conversion, so it's been pretty good. But yeah, one more, and then I kind of want to, they have this pec deck over there. It's one of those old school, like it's got 2 pads, and you just set them in your elbows. We'll try it for a set before moving on to some sort of pressing movement, so we'll see. Not too bad. But I think I'm ready to move on to something else. So I do want to try out that weird pec deck thing. So move over there and see how that is. Yeah, this is pretty good. You can adjust like how far back you go. So this is pretty up there with the pressing machines I've used in my life. So probably gonna sit here and do like 1, 2 more, and then we'll go from there. Just make this a rest pause set. Okay. Yeah, one more of those. Yeah, that's it. Oh man. Pretty sick. Feels really good. I'm not gonna take a look at it as much as it's hard to resist, but I'm gonna move on to side delts and just 8 sets of various movements. Maybe I'll record one, but I mean, it's all the same thing. So other than that, I'll see you in the car.
Holy shit. Yeah, that was pretty good, man. I'd say this is another one of those, you know, like really solid lift today. Definitely not like the craziest, like, whoa, holy shit, dude, this was like peak. But it also wasn't bad at all. It was just a really solid lift. Oh my God. This is kind of ironic. There's a school bus in front of me for the deaf and blind school, and she almost ran into me. I grammatically speaking, I shouldn't make any other comments. Anyhow, you know, this was just another like solid lift, and that's kind of the important thing, you know, like even if it was a bad lift, it's still another lift, and you just have to get so many lifts under your belt to start making like meaningful progress. You know, it's not like speaking from my own experience here, like when I first started, you know, like really getting into the gym, I told myself, okay, like 3 months, I'm gonna go to the gym consistently for 3 months and just, you know, see what gains I make. I called it the 3-month plan. And after 3 months, I mean, like overall, it wasn't that much progress. It wasn't really anything that crazy, but you know, it was still progress. I still did see some progress, and this was going from a baseline like 0, no exercising, definitely no like weightlifting, nothing. So going from 0 to, you know, I think I was going like at least 5 to 6 times a week. Like that was a minimum, 5 to 6 times a week. I mean, you will see some crazy fucking improvement, you know, like across the board. It won't be like what you would hope for, where you're like, okay, 3 months is a long time, I'm gonna be shredded at the end of it. No, especially when you're starting from 0, or you know, like from where I was starting at, I'd say you're a little less than 0. You're in the negatives when you have so much excess body fat on you. You have to like work yourself to that baseline to really start seeing some actual progress. So after the 3 months, I definitely wasn't discouraged. I was pretty excited. I was like, this is pretty fucking cool. 3 months, I've made like this much progress, which in the grand scheme of things was not a lot. But you know, 3 months I did this. Imagine what I'll be like in 3 years. And dude, here we are. Yeah, 3. When did I start? Definitely over 3 years, right? If not 3 years, close to 3 years. And dude, 9-day difference. I'm genuinely like, significant improvement has been made. So point of me saying all this is that it's always not going to be, or it's not always going to be that flashy. And you're not going to see progress like that. You know, you have to like do it consistently for a long ass time. And you also need to control every other aspect of your life. It's not just as simple as going to the gym, having a badass lift, and then going home, like, you know, you gotta track your macros, you gotta do your cardio every day, you gotta like lift with some real intensity while you're at the gym. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it, but you have to start, you know, you have to do something, you know. I never expect anybody to just start going to the gym and like on day one, they're tracking their macros, they're doing their cardio, they're going every day, they're lifting with real intensity. No, it's a long and, you know, it's a long process, and it takes a lot of time. You have to learn. And for some people, that might be like a discouraging aspect of like, okay, this is like a really high skill ceiling, and, you know, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to go into it. It can be a little daunting, but in my mind, that's fucking cool. That is exciting to me. I love that. I love that, you know, this is a constant process of learning and figuring it out, and it's just awesome. And yeah, I don't want to get too sappy or anything, but like, lifting has absolutely changed my life for the better. Like let's put aside all the, like, you know, because I'm a little crazy with it. You know, I would love to step on stage someday. That's why I'm kind of like, you know, my entire life is you know, working towards that goal, amongst other things, you know. But like, before lifting, I didn't really have very good discipline. I didn't have like willpower in the slightest, you know. So just being consistent and passionate about something, I mean, it influences every aspect of your life. It really teaches you some good lessons. So I don't know. Motivational talk aside, I don't even know how I got to this point ranting wise, but really solid lift, man. Really fucking cool. I'm excited to, you know, pose down in a couple weeks and see where we're at. I haven't been weighing myself every single day, mostly because I just don't want to discourage myself. You know, there are going to be days where you fluctuate. So like the lowest number that I've seen was like 192 on the dot. So, you know, I don't want to like weigh myself every day and then maybe one day I'll see like a 194 or like a 196 and I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, just sporadically I'm going to weigh myself. I know for a fact I'm like tracking everything to a T, and I'm you know, doing my cardio every day or whatever. So not too worried about it. Simply a matter of time. But last topic I want to talk about, lifting aside, this is not related to lifting in the slightest, but I'm very excited about it. So me and the wife are going snowboarding today. Never done it before. We're going to Baby's First Mountain. It's not the name, but you know, it doesn't have anything crazy. It's a bunch of green runs and, you know, baby bunny hops and whatever. So we rented some gear and we signed up for this, like it's an instructor led, like you pretty much go there and they teach you the ropes and they get you to the point where you can at least like stand on your own and slide a couple feet, you know, heel slide an impressive distance, and then they kind of cut you loose and they let you go at their runs. So I'm pretty excited, man. My younger brother does skiing and he's really fucking good at it. So, you know, he's got all the, you know, he has his own skis and boots and, you know, all this, what have you. So he was definitely a big inspiration in like wanting to get into it. I've always wanted to do snowboarding. I just never really did it for some reason, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I just never really thought about like doing it. So I had an awakening and really want to fucking do it, and the wife is super excited for it too. So I'm pretty hopeful that we pick it up quickly, because I would love to, like, you know, buy my own board and have a badass like helmet and go to all these different places like for snowboarding and go to all these resorts. I think that would be fucking cool. So I'm excited. You guys ever go snowboarding? Give me some good tips. I did a bunch of research, so I have, like, at least on paper, a pretty good idea of like how to do it, you know, heel sliding and you know, edge control, and how much overhang you should have on your board, and edging and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm hopeful I'll pick it up quick. I mean, we'll see. I was pretty good at skateboarding back in the day, so we'll see how it goes, man. We will definitely see. Hopefully I don't break my wrists, because the next update would have a very unfortunate title, like broke my wrists. We're gonna have to do some I don't know what I would call it, but I'm not gonna break my wrists. I'll be good. But not much left to say, man. Pretty hungry. Kind of feel like grabbing something from somewhere, but I don't really know what to grab, so I'm gonna kind of patrol the area, see what I want to get. So that's all I have. Next video, I don't know when. We'll see, whenever I feel like it, to be honest. So catch you guys on the flippity flop.